What is up, Sooner Nation? Happy Saturday to you. Greetings from Tennessee, fellow Surgeaholics. Monty says, appreciate you guys joining us. I don't know. Do we have anything to talk about tonight, guys? Wondering if we do. Of course we do. And T Boomer starts it off with the pitcher from Stanford's in the portal. And before we talk about this, because I already know that's going to be a lot of people trying to bring that up tonight, and I get it. But I know earlier today I mentioned in the Discord, I don't like talking about players in the portal until they're in the portal officially. Now, you've seen the reports all throughout the day, all the rumors, and then you saw the news break tonight from some local news agencies there in Topeka, Kansas, some other spots that said they had talked to the family and she will be entering the portal. And I get it. There's going to be speculation of where she's going to go. My thing is, for some reason, and maybe I'm wrong on this, guys, but I do not know what Canady her mindset is. You have two options, Jeremy. You can go join Oklahoma and try to win a fifth straight natty for Oklahoma, or you could go beat Oklahoma somewhere else. You could go, and I'm going to give you a few options, guys. I know a lot of Sooner fans like, yay, Cannady's coming to Oklahoma. Well, Canady could also end up at Texas, could end up at Florida. I'm just saying, I don't think it's a done deal she's going to end up at Oklahoma once her name is in the portal. But I know there's a lot of Sooner fans that think it's a done deal. But I'm a little hold up a little bit. I don't know, Jerm.
I don't know if you can hear me here, connection.
Yeah,
but,
we can hear you.
Listen, I don't know what is going through Kennedy's mind either. Here's some things we do know. She is from Topeka, Kansas. Her family talked about. I read an article during the Women's College World Series Championship about how she's battled. She's worked hard to be in that championship game, giving it everything she's got. She wants a title. That's we know that. But you're right, Jay. You can either join the Giant, or you can join another team and try to slay the Giant. But here's the deal. It's a little different, Jay, this year because OU is losing so much. So it's almost like she could be kind of the savior to get them 5 in a row. There is that too, Jay.
I don't like the word savior on it because
I don't either. You know what I mean?
They have extremely good talent coming in, and I think OU will be right up there with everybody next year. Here's the thing. If she does end up at Oklahoma, the evil empire just got even more evil, and it is going to be and that's, hey, Terry, that's not a bad, I mean, that is close to Kansas.
Jake,
I mean, they don't have enough bats, though, guys.
Nebraska's working hard in the portal, though, I promise you right now.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, and she's been in the World Series and carried them on her back, all right, to get to there both years, okay? And what has she not had to win it? She hasn't had bats. And I agree, Hunter, Nebraska is getting heavy bats in the portal. I would agree with that. And so that is the other option. And that's what I want to tell Sooner fans. I know a lot of Sooner fans are like super duper happy that she's in the portal. Well, you may be wishing next year that she would have stayed at Stanford. That's all I'm saying, right? If she doesn't end up at Oklahoma. But she might end up at Oklahoma, guys. I'm just saying it's too early for me to have that, and I don't know her mindset. I don't know. I have not talked to see why she's leaving Stanford. Obviously, I think it's probably to try to win, and I do think Stanford overpitched her. I think that's probably one reason too. Yeah. But nowadays, you don't see that often. She pitched so many innings, and maybe she's not wanting to pitch as many innings. I don't know, man. It's a thought that goes through everybody's mind.
Nolan's correct. Nebraska's picked up a few good hitters this offseason, and they're on the up and up. But, Jay, one thing is look, if she visits Oklahoma, obviously I think they'll land her. I don't know if she's going to visit Oklahoma or not, Jay.
What makes you say if she visits, they're automatically going to land her?
I think if she visits Norman, then obviously they're going to land her. That's my opinion. That's my opinion, Jay.
And Ricky, there's rumors all over. And that's why earlier today when it was rumored that she was getting into the portal, I wasn't going to talk about it. In fact, I did a video earlier today about portal entries. And I didn't mention it. And all I said was I think there will be more this weekend because I do. I think she's not going to be the only one. There's going to be a few more, I think, this weekend enter the portal before it closes on Monday. And Colin, why
Hey,
would you
Jason,
not? Let me give you an example. Why would you not go to OU? I know this is a totally different sport, but Kevin Durant went to Golden State. They were going to win. I think they were going to win it anyway. And it's almost like he couldn't beat he didn't want to try to beat him. He just joined him. I just think that sometimes is the mindset is like maybe she wants to beat Oklahoma, guys. That's why I don't think people maybe she wants to beat Oklahoma and not join him. I don't know. That's why I'm saying I don't know.
And next year would be the year to do that if you join up with a Tegan Kavan or a Jordy Ball or something like that,
Florida,
where she's not
Florida.
Or Florida or Jay, or she does come to Norman and she's it. She's the ace automatically, and she leads them to a 5th title. Again, what does she want? That we don't know that. And again, until I hear from her Twitter page or see that she's visiting, I'm not going to sit here and say OU's automatically landing her.
We're talking about Najari Canady supposedly entering the portal. Nolan, you think for sure going somewhere in the SEC? Jared, I mean, obviously, in OU, I think we talked about this for portal needs. They need a really good pitcher in the portal. They do. That's a known fact. I mean, you got Kirsten Dillon, Peyton Monticelli is all you got, and then you have Audrey Lowry coming in as a freshman. So you don't have an experienced pitcher who's pitched. I mean, go look at Kirsten Dillon, Peyton Monticelli. Go look at how many innings they pitched. Not a ton. So yeah, I think there's a lot of Sooner fans say, yeah, she fit right in there. She goes, she dominate, and that's true. But I that right there would be Canady and Ball together.
Jay, is it?
I'm just saying there's other options than Oklahoma. Now, obviously, as a Sooner fan, Sooner fans want her for sure. I mean, yeah, why would you not?
She's actually, and Michael, she's actually from Topeka, Kansas. And yeah, I mean, there's some close options with Nebraska. Nebraska,
Bobby, I agree.
Or interrupt. Nebraska, I do think Nebraska's a possibility. There's several possibilities, but someone else asked how good she is. 0.67 ERA, I believe, this year. Okay.
Well, and she doesn't.
She pitched all the time.
Games that you really need to win, closeout games, she's really good. She's a dominant pitcher. She's the best pitcher in the nation. Okay.
She's not even close.
Pitcher in the nation. Not even close.
Not even close, Jay.
And hey, and Bobby, this is why I opened up with this tonight as far as what I thought about Oklahoma. It's the fact that I just think what I saw on Twitter today, or X, whatever you want to call it, I think Sooner fans are just under the assumption, well, she's in Norman. I would just say be a little cautious on that. I wouldn't, and I do think, why would you, if you're her, why would you not take your time and figure out the right decision? And there is NIL in softball too, guys, whether there is. So,
I mean, Jay, there's tons to like about Canady. I mean, on the field, and she's got that mindset of just to be a shutdown pitcher. She's energetic. She's passionate. She might feel like she was overused last year. Maybe there's part of that. Working with the best pitching coach in the country and Jen Rocha would be exciting. But again, to sit here for Sooner fans, I think to say OU's automatically getting her, you're kidding yourself.
And Ricky, I've heard that name as well too. Florida State's another good option. I mean, to me, I think there are a lot of coaches right now in college softball that when they see a player in a portal, they're like, we need you to beat that team over there. Come join us. We got to beat Oklahoma. Somebody's got to beat Oklahoma, right? So who knows? Yeah, waited for Jada to lead so she can keep her number. Hey,
have you seen something from her?
What?
Have you seen her post that she's entering the portal?
She has not. Nothing yet. And it hasn't even come out through the softball portal on Twitter yet. So if she's filed the paperwork, it just hasn't come through yet. That's it. Hey, by the way, Greg God mentioned O'Neal. I am totally in on Jaden O'Neal. Oh, you got another 2026 commit today in Ryder Mix. And he's a really good tight end, 4-star. You had him with Jonathan Hatton Jr. the other commit for 2026 class. I think Jaden O'Deal will be the next 2026 commit, personally. I really do. Hey, 405 boy, I didn't say it is an evil empire. What I said was nationally, a lot of people think that, okay? And if you go get Canady, it'll fester even more. I don't care. And John, real quick, I gotta get to.
I was going to attest to this.
Okay, you go.
John, look, Jay and I, you can both, you can ask us any night of the week. We don't like to speculate anything. Okay. All the comments in here, it's been all over Twitter. We never posted anything that Canady is in the portal. We're simply addressing the comments that are on here. She hasn't officially entered it. It's, I would say, 99% chance she's entering it.
It hasn't come. If she's officially entered it and the paperwork's in, you won't see it probably until tomorrow or Monday when it comes.
But she's going to enter the portal because otherwise she'd be denying the room. Supposedly.
Yeah. And hey, Mark, I don't care. I'm just addressing it. I'm addressing it because I'm saying that's what would happen. It is. And you will, I promise you, if she comes to OU, you will hear this. I promise you, you will hear, this isn't good for the game of softball. You will hear that from a lot of people.
And I say what Mark says, who cares? Nolan, you're right. Monday's the last day. And hey, here's an option, UCLA.
Yeah, I agree. They are two really good young pitchers. And, hey, Richard, I did a video on Riley earlier today. I think she would be outstanding for Oklahoma. I think she'd be a great pickup.
Yeah, you did do a video on Riley. And I agree, John. She hasn't, and she didn't go to Stanford just for softball. Her academics are elite. But to say she's not entering when all the rumors are, and I agree they're rumors, but there's also, it seems like a lot of solid, credible people that are saying it, and she's not come out and denied it. So.
Hey, Mark, what I mean, though, is this. OU did win their fourth in a row. Do they win their fourth this year without Kelly?
No.
And a lot of people, when she went to OU, they were like, there they go again, getting the best pitcher in the portal. Guys, that's part of the game now. That's part of softball is you go get transfer portal players, just like you do recruiting players. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying nationally, the talk was even last year, well, they're going to wait and get Kelly Maxwell. And they needed Kelly Maxwell to win a national. They may need Canady to win a natty next year, guys. Right?
Agreed.
They need a good pitcher, I'll tell you that.
I mean, if she enters and she commits to OU, they're the favorite to win it all. Even though they lost 10 seniors, they're the favorite.
And, Michael, that might be the most important thing to a lot of softball players is winning a national championship.
On the biggest stage. On the biggest stage.
Yeah, that's right, Hunter. A lot of people have called it that. Hey, and you got to also remember this. If somebody files their paperwork on Sunday night, the portal closes on Monday. You may not see the paperwork till Tuesday. So there's be a few floaters coming in late. And I agree, Mark, it gives and it takes away. They lost Ball, they gained Maxwell. I totally agree with that. That's part of the portal, though. That's normal. I agree. That's portal.
And John,
I don't know.
She's the odds-on favorite to go to OU. OU's the odds-on favorite based on the fact they need a pitcher. They're the best program, yes. However, again, what is her mindset? Does she want to join the giant or slay the giant? That's the question.
That's right. And that depends on where you go, obviously. If you go to OU, you want to join them and try to help them get their fifth straight. History. That's part of history. Or you join another team that's already really good. And Bobby, I'm kind of agreeing with this. I just think I know Patty, unbelievable why the portal gets really great players, but on this one, I'm like, I don't know, man. I kind of think she might be one of those that want to go play somewhere else and try to beat Oklahoma. And I don't know. I may be totally off base on that. Okay. I might be. But let me ask you this, Jeremy, and viewers on here. Let me ask you this. What does her going to Oklahoma do for her career other than winning a natty? But if she wins one, won't everybody say, well, you're at Oklahoma, you should win it?
Jay, what it does
Right.
for his career, there's other things, and I'm not implying anything, but talk to Kelly Maxwell about being encouraged, being pushed by the best to be your best.
I agree.
Life after softball, NIL. I can keep going.
No, I mean I agree. There's points on both sides of this, so yeah, it's going to be it's going to be a crazy week because OU's got 5 spots they could fill. And real quick, Hunter, I think
it's tarnished, Hunter.
Hunter, the fact that he ring chased ruined his career, in my opinion.
I'm not going to say ruined it, but it tarnished it.
Well, what? Hey, but I'm not going to compare that to Canady because it's a totally different situation. I brought it up earlier, but you can't say she. Do you think she's ring chasing if she's in the portal?
Well, that's part of it, yeah, Jay. Absolutely, that's part of it. Hey, and look, they got Taryn Kern this year at Stanford, but they lost all the other pitcher, Jay. The pitcher last year they lost, and that hurt him.
But why did it? Let me ask you this: why didn't Stanford go try to load up already out of the portal with bats? If right?
Yeah, and Braden, yep, Canady likely in the portal, boys. Listen, Jay, it's probably because maybe they knew this was happening.
Hey, Robert, I understand this. I just don't know what other level you can take her to. She's unbelievable.
You asked earlier, Jay. Here's what it could be. She could be maybe the best pitcher in the history of the game.
Why did you drop that name in there, Hunter? Did I miss something?
Citali Gutierrez.
What about it?
That's not the one I was talking about. Vaughter. I was talking about Vaughter.
Oh. Nolan says because of academic standards, 1% acceptance rate for transfers.
It's better than a long shot. It's better than a long shot.
I don't know, though. I'm kind of – I don't know. And I know Tyler trying to change the subject to football real quick. That's what he's trying to do. Hey, I think Nesta has good potential too, but football.
Stanford is going to the ACC, but if you want to be the cream of the crop in the softball world, it's SEC 100%, not even close. Florida's a good option. But if she wants to go somewhere closer to home, Jay, it's Oklahoma or Nebraska. That's where it's at.
Those are the 2 closest if that's what she's wanting to do. But I don't know.
Travel for a family and parents and all that could be another factor.
Listen, here's the fact of the matter. Nobody knows her reasoning for transferring. Nobody knows that, right? I do think at Stanford, I mean, you got the degree. Obviously, that's big time, Stanford degree. But I do think softball-wise, if they're never going to get to the next level, if they don't get bats, I do think she's pretty much done all she can do there. She's carried them on her back 2 years. I mean, she's pitched literally every game in the postseason almost. I mean, it's unbelievable. At some point, and I do think softball's changing. I do think it's changing pitching-wise where you can't just throw that many innings with pitchers.
Although she did really well, Jay. Despite that, she was dominant.
I think more teams are not doing that anymore.
Yeah, and there is a lot of travel from
that is a good point, Ricky.
ACC.
It is far away, but it is the portal. And, hey, just like football portal talk, I mean, it's big time. Hey, I mean, we can talk about the commit tight end from Oklahoma. Big get for Joe John Finley. Now, I did a video earlier, me and Hunter did. Joe John Finley, ex-teammate, Travis Wilson. Jeremy, you know Travis Wilson, remember him? Wide receiver at Oklahoma. Is the offensive coordinator at Riders High School currently. So that helped. You also have, it's the same high school Marvin Mims played at, Lone Star High there in Texas. Big get for Oklahoma to get him away from teams like Texas A&M, Oregon, Ohio State. Big time get, big physical tight end. I almost called him a receiver because he lines up in slot a lot. Really good blocker down the field too. So, and that's another thing we mentioned is no tight end in 25. You missed out on Roberts, and you missed out on just drew a blank. Nate Roberts, and I just drew a blank.
It'll
come.
I'm going to get it in a second, Jay. Dadgummit.
Yeah, it'll come to
Link
Cure. Yeah. So you missed out on those. So yeah, they needed one for 2026, and that 2026 class already with those two are really good. You count him and the running back Jonathan Atten Jr. And now I do think Jaden O'Neal will be the next 26 commit. I do.
I really thought Luke Haas might transfer out of Arkansas. Man, I was really hoping.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a busy week. Not just, I mean, the softball portal is going to be nuts this week. And
how many Go Boomer tweets this week?
Well, I got two right now that I think are going to be Sooners. That is not Canady.
Who are they?
I personally think Riley Holtorf out of Washington, shortstop. I think that's a name that keep an eye on that name. The other one is, I've said it for a week now, I think Kaylee Wyckoff's a name from Texas Tech. I think that would be a name. And when you're looking at players take visits this week, maybe those are two possible ones. But I think both those would fit Oklahoma and what they need. I mean, that's it. What do you need? Oklahoma needs – they do need a pitcher, guys. I think they need two pitchers, personally. I do. I know
I agree.
Do you agree? Because the other day I thought
I agree. And I'm still really high on Mariah Pinta, middle infield, and Reagan Bartholomew, but we'll see. And Trinae Washington, I've heard great things about him at tight end, Jay.
I'm not sure on that. Yeah, I agree, Jeremy. I'm not sure on that, Teresa.
Yeah, there's the new coach they had this year, but I don't know the connection at all.
Yes, that's correct. They are going to have 3 or 4 visitors for sure, Nolan. Yeah. That's Patty Gasso said on the Sports Animal. She was doing an interview. So this is going to be a busy week. And, hey, I promise you we're going to do the best we can to cover it. We cover softball as much as we can, and we do the best we can on it. So we will have you covered on portal stuff. And also, as recruiting's hitting up football, commitment video today, we're going to try to push out as much as we can as it happens.
Ron's talking about Marcus Haynes, correct?
I can't see the comment. Hey, yeah, Jimmy says Washington would have to gain some weight.
Easily. Speaking of gaining weight, what about Reggie Powers, Jay?
I would like to know, for the big-time football people in here who do follow recruiting, where do you think Christian Thatcher ends up? Tomorrow's his commitment day. Christian Thatcher, linebacker. At one time he really loved Oklahoma, and then he didn't commit. It's kind of died off. Are you thinking USC on Christian Thatcher? Are you thinking Utah? I think maybe USC possibly. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Do you think he does land up at Old Norman? I don't, but we will see. I think he's committing tomorrow. I do know that, so that'll be interesting.
I have not seen this officially, Leo De Hoyos. I have not seen this officially.
I think I did see that name in the portal. I think
did
I did.
You? And it was Marcus. Yeah, Marcus James was the linebacker from Carl Albert. Well, here's the deal, John. If people are still considering OU the Giant, next year would be easier to slay than this year.
I think next year's, if you're wanting to get Oklahoma in softball, it's next year.
You better.
Because what they have coming in next year and then the year after, recruiting-wise, is unbelievable. To me, if you're going to get them, it's going to be next year when they're all young. Now, I'm not saying you can get them. I think they might still win another one, but that's your chance to do it.
Jay, I don't know NIL, but if John says OU NIL is softball is pretty strong. Here's the deal. You have all those seniors. If NIL was strong, they were probably getting more than a lot of those, and you don't have to pay those this year. So you could probably fork out some more money for Canady.
Well, and if this does happen, you're going to have a lot of people just like you hear in football when players go to Alabama or A&M, everyone says, well, they dropped a bag, or you're going to hear it. If she ends up at Oklahoma, you will hear that. And you will hear people say, well, you just got more NIL money. So I'm just telling Sooner fans to be ready for it if that happens. Now, and that's another option. A&M, I mean, SEC school, I do think she wants to play the best, and that's in the SEC. I will say that. And I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be a busy week, man.
Oh, absolutely is. Absolutely. And I agree about the Deion Burks thing. Deion Burks, Makari Vickers, I hope lesson is learned, Jay. I hope lesson is learned.
I would hope so too, but we will see. I think it depends on what the punishment is. To be honest with you, I get tired of hearing he's going to get more time in with Schmitty. I get tired of hearing that. I really do. It kind of bothers me every time you see, well, all that means is they're going to hand it internally. He's going to get more time with Schmitty. Yeah, he will get more time with Schmitty. But what else is he going to do? I think there's more to it. And I think internally means there is more to that. Whether people think it's just time with Schmitty, there will be a lot more than that. I promise you, Brent Venables will handle it the right way. It may be a suspension. It may be I don't know what it will be. It will be something. I promise you, more than just Schmitty push-ups or on the Stairmaster, I think. So that's just my opinion. Who's privileged, Chuck? You says they are. Who is privileged? I'm wondering, what's that in regards to, Chuck? Thanks for joining us tonight, Chuck. Appreciate it. Hey, I think it does matter, the punishment, Tyler. I do think it is. And that's fine, Gregon, if it's one game. I do think personally, I do think a suspension, something to at least, hey, it's going to be a punishment that they think twice. You're saying the players are privileged, but are you talking about softball, football? What are you talking about there, Chuck?
I believe he's talking about getting DUIs and having no consequences. That would be my thoughts.
Nate, here's the deal. Here's what we know is the rumor started today. It was wild on Twitter. It's been a wild day all over Twitter, all over any other site you try to look at. But it sounds like the more as the evenings come on, that more people close to her camp, I would say, are saying that she is entering the portal for the next 2 years. So if that's the case, it's going to be a busy week of where she's going to go. She's going to have any offer she wants from schools. It's going to be, what does she want to do in the next 2 years? Is she want to go somewhere like in Texas and join up with another pitcher and try to beat Oklahoma, or does she go be the ace at Oklahoma and be the one to get them number 5? I don't know.
Yeah, and you're right, Nate. Everyone's going to call her. Everyone's going to reach out to her, but she's not going to reach out to everyone. And hey, listen, Ron says we don't spread rumors on here. I heard you staying put. All I'm doing is addressing comments that are on here.
Hey.
Going back to the Deion Burke stuff. Yeah, you should know better, as Chuck said. But listen, unfortunately, I've known better sometimes, and we've all known better, and we make stupid mistakes because of maybe who we're around or what we're falling under the temptation of. You just got to learn from it.
Yeah. But
and Mark's right. Respect. We're not talking about uncredible.
I refuse to talk about rumors. That's the only reason we're mentioning it, is because more news sites are coming out of it later tonight.
Credible sites.
But at the same time, until I see her name on Softball Portal on Twitter, it's kind of one of those deals. We can talk about it, but until it's actually official, who knows, right?
Yeah.
But it does sound like that's the lean right now, is that's what is going to happen. Yeah, Sam Boy, I see what you're saying here. I do. I appreciate you joining tonight. Says, as much as I love OU, Canady going to OU would really be disappointing. There was something special about Canady being as good as she is up against good batters. OU having all the talent will be mad. It's all speculation, Ken. Until we see it actually happen, yes, it's a lot of speculation. But I will say that.
Wait.
What?
I think it's speculation on where she's going to go. We're all just speculating that, but the fact that she's likely in the portal, there's credible sources. I think that's not really speculation.
Yeah, Jen's dropping in the legal consequences.
You are correct, Jen. The legal side is where a lot of people aren't looking at, and that's right. There's consequences. I hope those would cause someone to kind of learn their lesson. Hey,
we'll see. I mean, they are. The thing is, Deion Burks is like 21. He's not like an 18-year-old. He's been around the block a time or two. And I don't think here's the crazy thing. He didn't have any issues at Purdue 3 years there.
Yeah.
So
good choices, good life, bad choices. Yeah, bad
right,
life,
Chuck.
especially.
And here's the other thing. Bad choices have consequences. They have to. Bad choices have to have consequences. If you make a bad choice and you don't have a consequence, I'm going to go do the same dang thing again. Right? So I think
Absolutely.
that the consequence has to be strong enough to make sense, right? I don't think, and I don't know, I've never been in Schmitty's camp, but just running Stairmaster, I think it'll be more than that, personally.
Yeah. Hey, I was going to mention the Fanstop, Jay, fanstop.com. Great national championship OU softball officially licensed shirts. You don't want to miss those. Check them out. We have links in the description of our videos. Check them out. Get your Oklahoma Sooner softball national championship shirt. You don't want to miss out. Yeah, Jay.
Yeah, Nate brings up the SEC, Ole Miss. Hey, SEC's loaded, though. Yeah, Ole Miss maybe, but they're loaded. I don't know how the legal works in the cities there, Ken, so I don't know. And I will say this with Chuck. There's way too many options right now. Way too many to ever be driving with an open container or driving drunk. There's Uber. You can have a team. There's so many options. Don't do it. Period. Do not do it. There's all kinds of options right now if you need to get home after drinking. And has to be better. It has to be better. Browns, as Winery goes, believe OU when I see it happen. And that's true, Bowles. That's true. That's right, Hunter. There's too many options, man. It's silly.
Way too many.
Here's the thing, though. I think there's too many people that will drink and say, I'm fine. I have no issues. I'm mentally there. I have no issues. But those are the ones that ends up having problems or being an accident, whatever. You just can't put yourself in that situation.
Hey, in the end, BV's the coach. He's got to handle it. And he's got to live with the decisions he makes. But hey, Jay, I know I'm going to have to get off here in a second. I do want to say it's been great talking to everyone on here. The Canady stuff's going to continue to be kind of top, probably priority of what people want to talk about. But there's other things as well. But I know one thing, Jay, we'll be covering it all here at the Sooner Surge.
Yeah, and it's going to heat up this week. OU softball transfer portal will continue to heat up. OU football recruiting is heating up. It is. And I think they close out that 25 class, by the time fall ball comes around. I think they have most of that in hand. They got all those commits. So we'll see. We'll be ramping that up. You got a big visit weekend coming up. You had camps last week again, which, by the way, the tight end they just got committed today, Ryder Mix, was at camp on Thursday. And just stood out big time. And I think that's sometimes I don't think that the camp is mentioned enough how important it is, guys. The camps are so important because you get like Hunter said on the video we did earlier, it's like a trial run. You're there at the school. You're with the coaches. You get to see how it all works. You're coached by some of those coaches. It's a great opportunity for guys, future guys, to get kind of a trial run there. So I think they're huge for teams. Yeah, I don't know about that, Bobby. That's interesting. What position is this Canady guy? I don't know. Tyler, who are you talking about, Canady? Am I missing something here, guys? May have missed it. I'm not sure which one you're talking about, Canady. But yeah, it's going to be ramping up this week. Appreciate everybody being on here tonight. As always, hey, tomorrow night we'll be back. Another night, we'll probably have more news, I'm sure. Softball portal will be more news. I'm sure it's the last day. Monday's the last day. And then who knows? You got a commitment today in football. Kind of came out of the blue. Maybe another one pops. We'll see. But thanks so much for joining us tonight. As always, every night, 9:30. You can count on us being here. Sooner Surge. Appreciate you guys. Have a good night. Happy Father's Day to everybody as well.